I did hit record. Recording. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. This is everybody, right? Our team and some clinical instructors. Kim Schwartzmiller was gonna try to join if she could get away from work. I did not hear from Allie, and I did not hear from Jackie, but Leslie and Kim are here, so thank you. So I liked this. I saw this on my LinkedIn feed this week, and I thought I wanted to put this up here. I try really, really hard to minimize chaos and stress the first day and the first week, but it always feels like, so after we have a brief discussion with our clinical instructors, we will go over the first week so that hopefully we can make it as calm and as good a start to the semester as possible. But to the clinical instructors, I want to say we appreciate you guys immensely. I know the faculty could not do their job without you guys in the clinical world, assisting our students, but also bringing your current relevant knowledge to our team. So we really, really appreciate having you and all the work that you do. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you. So we agree. Yes. Okay. So I like this. I'm a clinical instructor. I solve problems you don't know you have in ways you can't understand. But please record in Zoom. So once again, I would attempt to remember it. So I think I have remembered. So thank you guys. So I just wanted to go over the schedules. I know these are really small and you can't really see them very well without going blind, but the LPNs, we have Leslie and Allie, right, Ruth? Mm-hmm. And Leslie's going to California Rehab. Okay. Yes. Yes. And then Allie's going to Okay, good. And we have 10 PN students. Hopefully we have 10. Only 7 have registered for classes that start Monday. And you know what? Like reaching out to them, like you're not going to register for classes, that's not my problem. But hopefully we will have 10. We will let you know if that changes. They are a really good group. It looks like they have some orientation on Wednesday to Kalispell Rehab, 3:10 to 4:10. Kalispell Rehab students only. And then Montana Veterans Home paperwork review, 3:10 to 4:10 with Ruth, meet in the main office. Yeah, just gonna grab them and we'll go find someone. Okay, perfect. And then Logan Health student orientation, do they need to go to that, Ruth? They do. Yeah, okay. They decided that they needed to go to that, but they don't have to stay the whole time. They probably won't be there till 3:30. Okay. But just so that we can say that we sent them. Okay, and I'm taking them on a tour, right? Yes. So I'm meeting them over there at 1 o'clock? Yes. In the lobby or? We can discuss that. Okay, we'll discuss that. However that works. I think that they were gonna meet in the lobby anyway, because that's where the student affiliations office is. So okay. Just meet them. Perfect. Okay. Okay, sounds good. So I'm taking them on a tour. Then they have their sim day / clinical orientation day on Friday, the 29th. And we're doing that along with the RN3 Adult Health 1 cohort, correct? Correct? Oh, I'm looking at Amanda. I don't know. I don't deal with the PNs. I don't know what is going on with the RN. As far as I know, they're on the same day. Okay, we're looking at both of you. They are. Okay. Okay, perfect. So that is correct. Clinical instructors, it's awesome if you can come that day. If you're instructing, if you can't, we totally understand, but I'm sure you've already communicated with Ruth if you can come or not. I don't think Kim Schwartzmiller can come that day, and this doesn't pertain to Libby because we don't have LPN students in Libby, but Leslie, are you coming that day? Yeah. Okay, perfect. And I heard from Leslie this morning, she's going to be there. Okay, great, perfect. Okay. So that's the LPN schedule. We'll circle back to paperwork in just a few minutes. Any questions about the LPN schedule?
One question for Ruth. So for Kalispell Rehab, who is my contact?
Her name is Julaine, and you were planning on going to that orientation, right?
Yeah, so I don't know that facility.
Yeah, her name is Julaine. She'll meet with you, and she's going to go over some paperwork and the computers. I think she's even going to do a little tour with you guys.
Okay.
So if you guys wanted to meet at that main entrance,
okay,
she'll meet up.
All right.
And Kalispell Rehab is the old heritage place, right? The PN clinical schedule is hard for them. Just keep that in mind because they're doing their adult health, their maternity peds all at the same time. So just keep in mind as you're rolling out assignments and stuff that they are doing all of their clinicals at the same time because we end those so that they can do their preceptorship towards the end of the semester. Okay, questions? Their schedule is bad. It's not as bad as it was this summer, though.
Yeah.
Then we have their NCLEX prep, and our team will talk about that later today, what we need for that. But the PN NCLEX prep is scheduled for the 29th and 30th of September, and that's all day, and then Monday and Tuesday, and they won't have their regularly scheduled classes that week. So they won't even have their classes on Wednesday because we need to give them a little bit of a break after being here all day for 2 days. They have some maternity sims in there, 9-12, right, Glenna and Pam? You're working on that. It's gonna be kind of a long day, right? Like 8 to 5:30?
A long day.
It's a long day. Okay,
I'm excited.
we're excited. And
Love
Jackie's
maternity.
coming for that. Is Rebecca here for that one?
No, Rebecca's not
Okay.
here.
That's right. That's why Jackie's.
Jackie's coming for the
Okay.
maternity,
Not the peeps.
not the peds, so we will need two people that day for being the parents.
Sim on 10/31.
Yeah.
That is, okay, so you guys put that on your radar and we can talk about that a little bit later. Okay, good. And then they have their second sim day on October 24th. And are the clinical instructors coming for that?
You still needed somebody on that day or not?
Which one day?
The 24th.
That's in October. I'm trying to remember what we did that day. I'm trying to remember too.
It's only, it says,
Okay.
we'll look
I
back.
haven't asked anybody yet on that day, cause I was.
I can't, I'm one sim at a time.
Yeah.
10/31, I'm gonna make a little note that 10/31, we need parents for pizza.
When we need
What
parents,
time for you?
it's 8 to 5:30.
So they have to have all the.
Well, it can be like if we're using faculty, it could be that you're coming in and you're being the parent, because the kids, you always have a parent in there. So maybe like for an hour or two at a
I
time.
think we can talk too, because I know everyone's busy. I'd like to figure out how we could do it without
Yeah.
trying to,
Commit to a whole day.
yeah, like
Yeah,
let's look at the
yeah.
schedule. I think there's like maybe 2 times where we have to do the simultaneous ones, right?
Okay.
And that's where we may need,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sure I can help for a couple hours here and there, but probably
I
not.
probably can also because I'll be done with 5 at that point.
So put a note to touch back with you guys. But we'll figure out what hours we need on that day.
Okay. So moving on to the RN3s, Adult Health 1. This is Lisa, and the clinical instructor is Kim Schwartzmiller. They're going to Emmanuel Lutheran. Kim has done this many, many semesters in a row, and she does a fantastic job. They will have their Emmanuel Living orientation on the 26th, and I think Kim goes with them, doesn't she, Ruth?
I don't think she goes with them anymore,
Okay.
and I think we're actually gonna do a remote onboarding process. So
Okay.
that's what I was talking to Jenna about yesterday. We're gonna do, she'll send them all of the links, and then she's gonna be in the office from that 1 to 3 to help them.
Okay.
And then they can look up their assignments that Kim's gonna give them.
Okay, perfect.
If there's time, maybe do a tour. Probably they'll do the tour with Kim on the first day.
Okay, great. So you and Lisa can work that out. And then they have their sim day on the 29th with the PNs. And then their second sim day is on 9/19. And you guys can let us know if you need more help for that. Okay, moving on. Okay. I put this in here just to show RN4s, peds mental health, because they go to peds and mental health right away. They don't have an instructor with them, but their schedule is pretty busy this first week. They have their peds skill validation on Tuesday, the 26th from 1 to 5. We'll talk about that a little bit later too, but that's the day that Farm Lab starts earlier and moves to a classroom so we can accommodate that skills validation. Then on Thursday, they have a peds NICU tour from 2:45 to 3:30 with Kayla, and behavioral health orientation until. You're going with them, Kayla, for that day. Perfect. And Katie, you're coming down on Tuesday, right? Okay, got it. And then they do their mental health first aid on Friday, the 29th. So that's a really busy week for the RN4s.
Katie, on the day that you come down that first day, are you gonna sit in on the farm lab at all? Cause I know you have Libby students this time.
Yeah.
I think I did last time.
I think
But
you
I
did a
felt
little
like
bit.
by the time I had to leave, you just made it through like the.
Okay.
I will.
It's all lectures, so don't feel like you have to. And if the Libby students want to come down for the day, they can, but otherwise we'll Zoom them. No problem.
Do we have other classes on Tuesday though, right? Are they with Lisa that morning?
Oh, Lisa's class, yeah.
Yeah,
Lisa's
they could
class.
come down for that class and Farm Lab if they want to. We can talk to them
Right
after
after.
orientation.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, good.
Otherwise they'll have to Zoom and.
Yeah.
What day of the week is that?
Tuesday, they shouldn't be in class.
No.
They have your class from
They have your
9 to
class.
9:50, RMTs.
Oh, aren't you? I thought you were talking different group. Thank you.
Oh.
We switched to pharmacology. Yes.
I was still over here. I was like, wait a second.
Keep up,
Come on, sorry, I was confused.
Finish my coffee.
I have a good question really quick. I know we can't change this, but,
Don't even ask.
in the past, did we do the tours on Tuesday morning? I'm just thinking of them having, they're gonna have to drive over
They have to drive down.
3 or 4 times that week.
Yeah, I think that was their schedule, right, Ruth?
Yeah, so, when I tried to reach out to Logan Health, and this is where that piece that we talked about, you emailed me about yesterday.
Uh-huh.
They're doing this orientation process, and I said, hey, can we do this? I got the feedback kind of, well, we're doing this orientation day, so they can just come over on this orientation day, and I was like, oh, okay, if that's all you have.
Logan Health is setting specific days each semester that students can work.
Yeah, and so they're trying.
Regardless of school schedules.
So they were trying to do the behavioral health orientation on the same day as their other orientation. And so then I figured if they're coming down for that, we would just group it all together
Okay.
that way and make it a little bit more.
But they're not actually doing a PEDS orientation at all, is what I'm understanding.
No,
Like
just a
no, you're doing the tour, so
Yeah.
I'm still supposed to do
Yeah,
it.
so they're doing that orientation. That PEDS has a portion of Logan Health orientation. I don't know what they go over with them in
Okay.
that thing. But it doesn't sound like they're doing like a separate thing like we used to. And when I asked them about that, their feedback was go to student associations and they have an orientation day. Which is why I told you, if you want to do that paperwork, great. If not, I don't even know if they're doing it in their orientation anymore.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Sorry, I tried.
No, it's okay. I just was like, I feel like last time we did that on Tuesday morning.
Yeah, and I was trying to group it
I
together.
figured there was a reason.
Yeah, I was trying to group it together more, but because they're doing their other stuff that day, well, this is our like general thing, and I'm like, okay.
And didn't they go to the general, didn't the RN4s go to the general?
Yes,
meeting last
They
time?
did. I just don't know what all they cover because they always put it on the day that I'm either in lab or
Okay.
clinical, and so like I don't really know what all they cover.
Okay. So moving forward, are they going to the Logan Health orientation each semester?
No, they go as RN3s.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm taking them to.
But now again is forced.
But this is for behavioral health.
Right. This is specific behavior.
Yeah.
Because, right, and since it's been so long since they did that first, it's kind of to help them refresh and know where they're going a little bit better.
Gotcha.
I
Thank you.
I don't think they need to do this.
It's taken a
general
while for this to get
orientation.
going, guys. I apologize.
I know. No,
Drink
and
coffee.
I don't think that they need to do this general orientation every semester, and originally that's what they were trying to have us do with
Yeah.
the students, and
Uh-huh.
it's very basic, like, this is where you are, this is where the coffee shop is, so like, no, and you know, I'm trying to work around what they're doing.
Gotcha.
Libby students already asked and answered. Do they have to come down 3 days that week? Yes. Can I get them a hotel room? No. Because the times are not early and it's August and hotel rooms are expensive. And I said, if you guys want to get a room together and pay for it, you can, but the department is not going to be able to do that. So asked and answered.
And it is a bummer, and I'm sorry.
It is.
No, it's okay.
It is.
I'm not looking to blame or anything, just understand so I can be the voice of
Yeah,
giving the same message.
yes.
And then RN4s, once they finish peds and mental health, they'll do their adult health 2 rotation at Logan. And this is Allie and Leslie again. They'll be done with PNs. So they'll take these guys. Their sim day, wait, let me go back one. I wanted to make, yes, okay. Their sim day is the 18th. That's a Saturday, 8 to 5. Libby students will come down for that, correct, Kayla? Right. Allie and Leslie, are you guys helping with that?
I'm not gonna be
Okay.
here that.
It's Allie, and if you don't need her,
We don't have Rebecca that.
I need someone, and I haven't heard back from Ally yet. I have messaged her, so you can't. Okay.
No,
You can let me know because the week you're gone, right?
Yeah.
I probably can if no one else can.
Probably do it.
It's all day. It's from 8 to 5.
On a what day though?
Saturday.
On Saturday.
I'm here, I'll help.
Yeah.
Kim is, I had planned on coming.
Oh, Kim is coming.
Also,
Awesome.
RN4s will be here, and then, Jackie also,
I think she planned on coming when we
Okay.
talked.
I thought Jackie was my clinical.
Well, you haven't gotten to Libby yet. This is Kalispell.
Starts at 9, correct?
Haven't gotten that far yet. The 18th of October.
And
8 to 5.
8 to 5, okay.
They're
Mostly for
structured
Kalispell,
so
Kim and Jackie.
that Kim can kind of orient Jackie into it.
I will be touching base with you, Kate, and Leslie.
Okay.
So now we
Okay.
have teachers.
Expect-
Yes.
Oh,
So now we don't.
And that's-
Yeah, you do that, I'll help too.
That's why they planned to come on that day also, so that they could really hear about your paperwork and
Yes.
expectations and all that.
The 18th is covered.
That's awesome. Good. Okay. And make sure you guys, and I know you do this, but make sure, like even for today, when you're coming down and doing things, put this on your time card, and I try to remind you if I see that you haven't, so. Then their second sim is on November 7th and November 14th, Fridays, 9 to 3. If you need help with that, let me know.
We didn't need help with that.
On those,
7th
so
and
we,
14th.
no, we have Rebecca.
Okay.
That day.
So I had mentioned those 2 days to the Libby instructors as well, if you want them to come. But if you don't,
That's not a problem.
I mean, I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah, and
If you wanna see like how I give, Pam and I give feedback.
That's actually the most helpful part of the
Yeah.
day is getting on the same sheet of music as.
absolutely. And I think if you guys want to come, even if Kayla says, I don't really need you, but if you want to come, I fully support that because I
Okay.
think it's really good for you to interact with the faculty that you're the clinical instructor for and kind of get a really good understanding of their expectations and how they want things documented and how they give feedback. So if you want to come, I'm very happy to have you and we'll pay you accordingly.
Does that also start at 8 or does it?
That one is at 9, it looks like, 9 to 3, both those days.
I've heard from them too, I don't know if it was from you, but just even seeing like, like skills wise, like how we.
Yeah. Super
What
helpful.
students have learned. and
Right.
And then so that they can follow along with that and, yeah.
And do you know, is Jackie planning to come to?
I know she was gonna plan last time we met, and we're gonna meet again in a few weeks, but on the 18th, and again, that was really just to make sure that they had a good understanding of their expectations.
Okay, good,
and we were-
good.
And I told them the other two was kind of they wanted to.
Okay.
And Leslie, you're at clinicals on one of the days and Ally's at clinicals on one of the days, so. Okay. Good. Okay, move on. Here's Libby, I'm sorry. We don't have Libby's adult health 2 schedule yet, but that will be Kim and Jackie.
They're also like, really cool.
Yeah. And Katie we'll get that very soon.
Yeah.
And we already know that it's Kim and Jackie, and as long as you know that first day. And you know the general days.
Yeah.
Just not the details, so, okay.
It's all, I'm just waiting for, yes, from all the managers to say yes on the certain days, but I have it down to the work. They pretty much know what days they're gonna be working and what they said.
And thank you for working with Jackie, and I think they're going together at least one day, so that's awesome, good. Okay. I want to orient you all well to your role so that you stay in your role. Please, like, let's orient you well so that you like it and you stay and you don't feel thrown to the wolves. And then RN5s, these guys will go at the beginning. This is Ruth, so you know, I don't worry too much about this. I just dump it all in Ruth's hands and know that she will take care of it. This is a big group. Who put that many students in that class?
A lot.
That's a lot. No, that's Ruth, and they are well versed. These students were at Logan Health last semester, so they're ready to go, and I think they're all super excited. Yeah. They don't really have a clinical orientation day because they have a lab that semester, so Amanda will do their paperwork and everything the first day of lab, which is Tuesday, the 26th. Okay. They have NCLEX prep 10/27 through 10/29. Theirs is 3 days, and we'll talk when we're done with the clinical instructors about coverage that we need for that because after the PNs, not this summer, but last summer, were wild children during their NCLEX prep. I want somebody to be in there with them. So we will talk about coverage needed for that. Okay, so we're going to talk about the paperwork. You guys already know what it is, but we'll just review it, and then we'll review submitting that paperwork to faculty. So I'm going to share again. I have so many documents open. I think it's this one. You guys are familiar with this, the daily formative student clinical evaluation. You guys all do a really good job filling this out. I don't really have anything else to tell you other than try to give them something. Like, they're students. They are not perfect. They need to improve in something, even if it's time management, prioritization, taking another patient. And I'll let the faculty jump in and suggest things that you want to see there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I feel like for my clinicals, I'm kind of persnickety about documentation. The more specific you can be, the better. It kind of kills me when I get, they're students, they're learning. Yes, I know that. Yes, but they're like, what do they need to learn? You know, and so like Carla said, just something really specific, like being more efficient. Some students are pretty good at their level, like last semester Devin, she's a high performing student, but she still had things to work on. You know, she couldn't take a full team. So just think about, like, if they were to graduate tomorrow, what would they need to be better at to do that? And so I really appreciate, and so do the students, the more specific you can get, the better. Instead of just the general, keep learning. Like, yeah, you can say that to them, of course. Like,
Right.
yeah, encourage them, but
Right.
there are always things that they can get better.
Always, yes. Yes.
Because at the end of the semester, you're the one giving the grade, right? So like you
Yeah.
have, it's based on what I tell you.
Yeah, exactly. And I trust your feedback. And so it's more important when a student is struggling.
Yes.
Like when a student's doing great, it's whatever. Like, but when a student is struggling and then I have to do a PIP and I look back and it's like, this does not help me. Like, I have no ground to stand on other than you think they're not where they are, but I have no documentation that proves that.
You need specific incidents.
Yeah, specific.
Yeah.
And if something happens, please put it on there. Like,
Mhm.
gave a med without checking patient identifiers.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, especially at this level, that should not happen.
Yeah, or gave a med without checking needed assessments prior, or didn't know to do them, something like that. Yeah.
Can I jump in here and just recommend also that if there is a problem like that, let us know, not
Right away.
paperwork, but email or call.
Yeah.
Like, we need to, sometimes I don't get to my paperwork right away and know what just happened because we're loaded with things that we need to do. But the sooner we know that it's happened, the better.
And it's okay to overshare. Like, if you feel like, I'm not really sure if Kayla would want to know this, just, she can be like, yeah, no worries. You know, oversharing is much better than undersharing.
Yeah, I hate when I get to the end of the semester. This has happened to me before. They go to fill out the final eval and they're like, ooh, I don't know if they actually meet the standard. I'm like, how is that happening at this point? You know, like this should have been a conversation weeks
Exactly.
ago.
Yep. If the student isn't meeting the standard at any point, they need to know that, and they need to know what do they need to do to get there. Because if they get to the end of the clinical, and this has also happened, that they've been told, you know, you're doing fine, I don't have any concerns. And then at the end, the clinical instructor says, well, I don't think they're ready to move on. It's like, well, we can't. We don't have enough documentation to support not moving them on, so therefore they have to. So just remember that, like, in nursing, documentation is important, and if it wasn't documented, it wasn't done.
There's been some good examples from previous instructors that I'm happy to share with you guys of how they documented certain things on these daily evals that were really helpful.
Yeah, if you want to email them, that would be great.
That's really helpful.
And it's so much more than just tasks.
Yeah.
Are they showing up on time? Are they a good listener? Can they communicate well with their patients and with the team? Are they recognizing problems? Are they able to troubleshoot? Like, there's so much, you know.
My favorite is what are they doing when they don't have exactly something to do?
Yeah.
Are they on their phone?
Yeah.
Do they,
It should not be.
are they looking for something else to do? Are they, what
Exactly.
do they do when there's not a specific task to be
Are
done?
they taking some ownership of their own learning?
Initiative.
And you guys all know this, like, we're not expecting perfection, we're expecting to see some growth from beginning of the clinical rotation to the end. We don't expect them, especially in adult health 1, when they're at long-term care, they have a lot to learn. And then especially too, in the very beginning of adult health 2, it's been a while since they've been at clinical and now they're taking acute patients. So we don't expect them to do everything perfectly, but we expect them to take feedback and have a little bit of growth.
And to piggyback on what you said, clinical is not a time to do homework. If they're
Yes.
doing homework, I can stab them.
Yeah.
Clinicals aren't any of the patients that need help.
Yeah, there's lots to do.
There's
Don't
lots to
doing
do,
homework.
yes. Yeah, Pam, what were you gonna say?
Well, 2 things that I thought of while you were discussing it, because we've had situations before getting to the end, are they gonna pass, aren't they? And I was sitting down with a couple of the clinical instructors trying to help them figure out how they were gonna score this student. And they actually had not read what the description
Yeah.
says.
We're gonna move to that next.
And they were like, well, I was satisfied with what they were doing at clinical. Well, did they meet this criteria? Oh, well, I didn't really read that. That's part of how we're making sure you understand what we mean. And I think you guys already know this, but I was shocked to get to the end and find out they hadn't even actually read what our description was for needing improving and that. The other thing was Kayla mentioned that giving a med without a patient identifier. I think it would be helpful for clinical instructors to know, do we consider that a med error? And we've had med errors before, we've made them come in and remediate in the lab before their next clinical. So is that still the standard, and do they know that so that they're reporting giving a med without identifiers as a med error, and we're setting up.
I would hope that actually, like, maybe it was about to happen, but you as clinical instructors would not let it happen.
Right.
You would not give a med without a patient identifier, so it's a med error that the student almost did it. It's an error on the student, it's not a med error that goes through the facility channels, because the instructor would stop it and be like, are you gonna give that med? What have you not checked? So I think that's an important differentiation. Yeah.
Would we consider that an almost med error that they need a remediation before
I
clinical?
think that's a conversation between the faculty and the clinical instructor.
But I'm leaning towards yes. At my level, as an RN at 4, if you're just going in and giving a med and not.
Yeah, at that stage, they very much need to.
Yeah.
And scanning in my eyes doesn't count.
No, scanning is not checking identifiers. So
It's like your safety backup, your safety net. Like I've asked you name and date of birth, and then scanning is gonna help catch whatever, if something else. Yeah, exactly. Or Van Smith.
and then that final clinical evaluation tool, I didn't pull up the PN one, but it's basically the same. It gets a little bit confusing because I think it's a little bit confusing for you guys, because we don't want them, this isn't a percentage, it's points. And when they're first starting out, like in adult health 1, they shouldn't earn all points, which means they're exceeding. They should earn about 60 points, 60 to 70, then 70 to 80 in adult health 2, and then at least 80 points in adult health 3 and their preceptorship. It's hard because I think we're saying 2 different things here. Like, we're saying at their current level, but we're also saying we want to see some growth through all of these different clinical rotations. So think about, like, as an RN 3 in adult health 1 at long-term care, are they meeting expectations that you would expect as a student in their first clinical rotation? Or are they still developing? And they really should have some things that are still developing, because even though they are doing okay for their current level, they can't go take care of a long-term care patient by themselves yet. So it's okay that a lot of things are still developing. I wouldn't expect many of our students to have any unsatisfactories, and most of them don't. And some of them might meet and exceed a lot of expectations. Some of them might be like a highly experienced CNA or MA or something, and they're like, their patient communication is down. That's okay. But don't feel like you have to make sure they have 90 to 100 points on this final clinical evaluation. Does that explain it a little bit better, Ruth?
I think so. I guess, but we still want them to have that like 60, I guess, what are your ranges you're wanting them to fall in then in that?
Like the adult health one would be like 60 to 70, you know, adult health two is 245, 70 to 80. And it is okay if it's more, but their very first clinical, they shouldn't be scoring like 95 points.
Well, I think it's also important, this is like 1 through 3 adult health courses are a
Yeah.
continuum, like they're
Yeah.
building on each other. So if you gave someone a 95 in adult health 1, then you're saying that they only have 5, or, you know, like 5 more points to be 100%,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like, are they really that perfect as an
Yeah.
adult?
They could just like graduate right then.
Yes, so it's a continuum,
Yeah.
it's not individual courses, even though they
Right,
are.
right. It's a
But it's
continuum
the
of all the
same sheet
clinicals.
use.
And I
Well,
think
that's
we
that's important.
decided to use this type of evaluation to show the progression from being a
Yeah.
brand new nurse to new grad, right?
Yeah.
Instead of
Yeah.
having like a different set of objectives in each one.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's important that we let the students know that too. Like,
Yeah.
this is to show your progression and
Exactly.
growth. Like, be excited when you get a 60. Like, that is
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly. And it's not a percent, it's the points you earned 60 out of 60 points.
So
Um,
Sheila, do you go over that in class or should we discuss that?
No, I go over it, on that first sim day.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and explain it all to them.
And then I know me, you and Ally will meet before that clinical starts, but since Ally and I are sharing that, I think we should do this together.
They usually
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
the clinical instructors, which.
Yeah, and like for you and Jackie,
Mhm.
yeah.
It either falls that they do it together or they had a group of students more than the other had and they'll divide it. Yeah.
Yeah, and if there's any concerns and that you're not sure about, just loop in your faculty member and say like, well, the student was doing this, so I'm not, you know, you can have that discussion. And then like Pam had said, like, read these. There were some of them I did, like one of the one that I liked, students frequently got like exceeds expectations in this one. Seek information about process and projects to improve care, QI. And the student would get an exceeds expectations. So I'd say to the student, okay, so what quality improvement initiatives is your unit working on? And they'd be like, I don't know. Okay, well then you shouldn't get an exceeds expectations on that. And that's okay. You don't have to know all of that yet. But by the time they get to adult health 3, these bolded items, they have to get those. Like they can't get an unsatisfactory in those or they will not pass the course. So they need to provide safe care, they need to communicate their observations, and they need to protect confidentiality. And I don't think we've ever really had an issue with that. And then you guys, the students fill out their self-eval portion, the clinical instructor fills out theirs. Everybody can write on it, and then the clinical instructors can sign it, and then the final summary, the course faculty signs and says the student has or has not pass the course. And if we're checking that they have not satisfactorily, they should have been on a PIP, we should have had documentation, and you guys are good about notifying the clinical instructor when there is a problem, and I think it always happens for Kayla. But Kayla's been really good about implementing those performance improvement plans really early on, because we don't want the student to get to this point and be like, oh, sorry, you didn't pass. So they need to be well aware.
What is the performance improvement plan? It's just like, you have to do that.
There's a whole form that you have to fill out, but you have to identify like what their problem areas are, give specific examples of, and like when, and then make a plan for how's the student supposed to work on them, and then you just follow up pretty much.
I was
every
wondering
week.
for like the clinical side of it though, like what kind of specific things are you giving them to do by a certain time?
Usually it's like I have the clinical instructors ensure they watch a med path and another head to toe assessment. Make sure that it's usually safety related, like they keep making same safety mistakes or they're just really not progressing to the level that they should with like efficiency and critical thinking. Like they're really floundering with just one patient.
So you're kind of helping them identify that, come up with some ideas of specific things to implement and then.
Like I want you to take a higher acuity patient and, you know, like
But
really.
Kayla's real good at keeping in touch with us and just before that next clinical say, you know, I'd like you to watch another med path student.
Yeah, I tell them exactly what the PIP says. I usually share a copy of the PIP with them so they know what I talked about with the student and the student, you know, so everyone's on the same page.
Well done.
I've not had to do that.
Well, hopefully we don't have.
There's always one every semester. There's always one somewhere. And then submitting the paperwork to faculty, whatever works better for you guys. Some use something on their phone to scan. Some give it to the students to bring back. Whatever's working, but just make sure that they get their paperwork by Monday after following your clinical rotation.
Yeah, I want it back before the next clinical
Yeah.
days.
And the clinicals are usually Thursday, Friday. So ideally, if you can get it to the instructor on Monday,
That would be
is
best.
Yeah.
because then they have time to look it over and read it and identify if there's any issues that they need to look back on. How have you been submitting it, Kim? In the past?
It worked really well.
Yeah.
I would leave it in a folder I just at the care center, and then she would stop by on her way to work or whatever and pick it on Monday,
Okay.
pick it up and then email it.
Okay.
So I didn't have to run to the college. I mean, I did written form was very
Okay.
efficient for me. It was so easy.
So whatever works for you guys when you're at Cabinet Peaks, you can figure that
All
out.
sorts of like firewall stuff that they couldn't scan out. They
Yeah.
couldn't do anything. So that just made it most
Yeah.
reliable, I guess,
Okay.
efficient. So that's fine.
And what have you done in the?
I've dropped them off. I just do the main one. Yeah, I prefer to do that.
Okay. And Ally, does she usually
She scans
scans
them
them?
to me,
Okay.
yeah.
And how does Kim do it? Does she scan them to you?
Students bring them.
Students bring them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I know over the summer, the LPN students that were with Ally, with Kim, brought them to me. That's fine. You just gave them to me. So, okay, whatever works. Just make sure the faculty are getting those.
Yeah, Monday or Tuesday would be ideal.
The next one.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, anything else for our clinical instructors?
Thank you for being flexible. and
I
working
know.
together.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Thank you for taking our students. We appreciate you immensely. Questions for us or me or the team?
Did you, I can't remember, again, my brain is just, the little,
Book? Yes, I ordered more and I brought one up to Jackie this summer.
okay,
Yes.
because I guess Kim does not have one.
Oh, I have one in my office.
I have a
Okay.
couple extras that we
I
ordered.
have an
too.
outdated one that I'm gonna give her, but if you have one.
Maybe you can run.
Yeah.
What book is this? It's the Fast Facts for Clinical Instruction.
Okay, yeah.
So we're just having a moment.
Any of the instructors that are watching this, if you need this book.
Yeah.
Clinical instructors, just let me know. I have a couple.
Every time we do this, there needs to be like a beam of light.
Thank you guys. And know that when I'm texting you to please do your time card, I'm not nagging you. I just really want to make sure you get paid. And I know that it's sometimes not second nature to put your time in. So I always have the schedule pulled up and the time cards. And I'm like, oh, Leslie, did you work this day? Could you put your time in? So awesome. All right. Thanks, guys. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to stop the Zoom record.